There is a creature hiding in your backyard right now that millions of people have been warned about for decades. You have probably heard the story. The daddy longlegs is the most venomous spider on Earth. Its venom is supposedly so powerful that a single bite could be deadly. There is only one reason you're still alive. Its fangs are supposedly too small to pierce your skin. It sounds terrifying. It sounds scientific. And it is completely wrong. But here's where the mystery begins. The truth isn't simply that the story is false. The truth is stranger than the myth itself. Because the animal most people call a daddy longlegs isn't even a spider. And the creature that actually is a spider may be quietly protecting your home from something far more dangerous. Right now, beneath leaves, inside garden sheds, behind storage boxes, and in the forgotten corners of your basement, an invisible workforce is operating around the clock. Most people see pests. Most people see creepy legs. But nature sees something else entirely. It sees scavengers, assassins, cleaners, and hunters. And once you understand what these animals are really doing, you'll never look at your backyard the same way again. The biggest reason the daddy longlegs myth refuses to die is surprisingly simple. Most people think they're talking about one animal. They're actually talking about two. And those two creatures couldn't be more different. The first is the one you're most likely to encounter outdoors. You find it walking across garden paths, climbing fence posts, moving through leaf litter beneath shrubs. Its tiny body seems almost suspended beneath impossibly long legs. When disturbed, it begins to bounce and vibrate, as if its entire body is malfunctioning. This creature is called a harvestman. And despite what nearly everyone believes, it is not a spider, not a strange spider, not a primitive spider, not a harmless spider. It is not a spider at all. At first glance, that sounds impossible. After all, it has 8 legs. It looks like a spider. It behaves like a spider. But evolution can be deceptive. Just as dolphins resemble fish while being mammals, the harvestman only resembles a spider from a distance. A true spider has 2 distinct body sections connected by a narrow waist. A harvestman has one fused body. A true spider produces silk. A harvestman cannot. A true spider possesses venom glands. A harvestman possesses none. 0. No venom. No fangs designed for injecting toxins. No hidden chemical weapon. Nothing. The famous deadly venom myth doesn't merely exaggerate reality. It invents an entirely fictional reality. But here's where things become fascinating. The harvestman's ancestors have existed for hundreds of millions of years. Their lineage emerged before dinosaurs ever walked the earth, long before humans built cities, long before mammals dominated the planet. These strange-legged wanderers were already exploring ancient forests. Imagine surviving multiple mass extinctions without venom, without webs, and without sophisticated weapons. How? Because nature found another strategy. Instead of becoming killers, they became opportunists, masters of adaptation, masters of survival. And that strategy may be even more impressive. If the harvestman is not armed with venom, then how does it survive? The answer reveals a hidden war happening beneath your feet. Every handful of soil contains countless tiny battles. Eggs waiting to hatch, fungal colonies spreading through roots, decaying leaves transforming into nutrients, microscopic predators hunting microscopic prey. And moving silently through this battlefield is the harvestman. Think of it as a roaming cleanup crew mixed with a special operations unit. Unlike many arachnids that wait patiently for prey, harvestmen patrol constantly. Their extraordinarily long legs function like biological sensor towers. As they walk, those legs detect vibrations, obstacles, chemical traces, and movement long before danger reaches their body. They are effectively feeling the world several inches ahead of themselves. To a creature this small, that's like having radar. As they patrol, they consume decomposing plant material, fungi, insect eggs, dead animals, and small pests. They are simultaneously recyclers and hunters. Every meal helps prevent waste from accumulating while reducing populations of potential garden pests. But what happens when something larger wants to eat them? A bird, a frog, a lizard, another predator. This is where their secret defense activates. Special glands release a foul-smelling chemical cocktail. To us, it may seem insignificant. To predators, it can be enough to ruin an entire meal. One unpleasant encounter is often all it takes. The predator learns, the harvestman survives, no venom required, no battle necessary. But the second daddy Longlegs uses a very different strategy. And honestly, it's far more terrifying. Meet the cellar spider, the long-legged resident of basements, garages, attics, crawl spaces, and forgotten corners. Unlike the harvestman, this one is a genuine spider. It builds webs, it has venom, it has fangs, and it possesses one of the most remarkable hunting strategies in the arachnid world. Most spiders are architects. They build traps and wait. Cellar spiders are infiltrators. Imagine a burglar breaking into another burglar's house. That's essentially what happens. The cellar spider enters another spider's web. Then it begins to vibrate the silk. Not randomly, deliberately. It creates vibrations that mimic trapped prey. The web owner rushes toward what it believes is dinner. Instead, it walks directly into an ambush. The cellar spider strikes, wraps, bites, and feeds. It has been observed attacking spiders much larger than itself. In some cases, even one of North America's most feared spiders, the black widow. Think about that for a moment. The fragile-looking spider hanging in your basement corner may actually be hunting the spider you truly don't want living there. What appears weak is often incredibly dangerous. Nature loves that trick. Now we can finally solve the mystery that began this story. Why did the daddy Longlegs myth spread so successfully? Because humans are naturally attracted to hidden danger. A harmless animal isn't memorable. A secretly lethal animal is. Our brains are wired to remember threats, especially invisible threats. A story about a deadly spider whose bite you somehow escaped is far more exciting than a story about a beneficial scavenger helping your garden. And so the myth spread, from classrooms to family gatherings to internet forums, from one generation to the next. Meanwhile, reality was quietly doing something much more interesting. Both animals were performing ecological jobs that most people never noticed. The harvestman was helping recycle nutrients and reduce pest populations. The cellar spider was eliminating insects and competing spiders inside homes. Yet countless individuals were crushed, sprayed, vacuumed, or removed because people misunderstood what they were seeing. And this creates a much larger question. What happens when these creatures disappear? The answer reveals how interconnected your backyard truly is. Remove enough decomposers, and organic waste accumulates. Nutrient cycling slows, soil health begins to decline. Remove enough predators and pest populations expand. Small imbalances become larger ones. Nature rarely collapses all at once. Instead, it weakens through thousands of tiny losses. One missing hunter, one missing scavenger, one missing recycler, until eventually the system becomes less resilient. The presence of harvestmen often signals healthy soil rich in organic matter. The presence of cellar spiders often signals active predator-prey relationships operating inside a home. They are not decorations, they are indicators, living measurements of environmental conditions, tiny biological report cards hiding in plain sight. Perhaps the most remarkable part of this story is not that the myth was wrong. It is how completely wrong it was. For decades, people looked at these creatures and saw danger. Nature looked at the same creatures and saw maintenance workers, engineers, recyclers, hunters, guardians. The harvestman wandering across a damp garden path is not searching for humans. It is participating in a system older than civilization itself. The cellar spider, trembling in a basement corner, is not waiting to attack. It is carrying out a silent pest control operation that has been perfected through millions of years of evolution. And that raises an uncomfortable question. How many other creatures have we misunderstood simply because they looked strange? How many important jobs are being performed every night by animals we never bother to understand? The next time you see long legs emerging from the shadows of your garden or hanging motionless in a forgotten corner of your home, stop for a moment. Look closer, because you may not be looking at a pest. You may be looking at one of the oldest surviving specialists on Earth, a creature whose ancestors endured catastrophes that erased entire worlds, a creature still performing its role while humans rush past without noticing. And maybe that's the real mystery. If an animal can spend millions of years quietly keeping ecosystems alive, why are we so quick to fear the things we understand the least? What other monsters in your backyard might actually be the heroes of the story?